What's good, y'all? It's O.D.D.I.T.Y, and welcome back for another episode of The Craft, where we talk all things hip hop, experiences, opinions, processes, techniques, you name it. I just want to be a source for all things hip hop. So if you haven't been to the channel before, make sure you hit subscribe, like, leave a comment, share. All these things help the channel grow, and ultimately, I just want to be able to expose new thoughts for up and coming artists and for even experienced artists, and maybe you guys can share some of your experiences in the comments.
Some just do it for the cash, others do it for the passion. Is you working on your craft? Is you really about that action? Some just do it for the cash, others do it for the passion. Is you working on your craft? Is you really about that action? The Craft. Welcome.
So I know we've all heard songs, we've all heard artists, we've all witnessed in some capacity someone say that this song or this artist is corny. And as I've thought about it, it's as I've gotten longer in my career of making music, my definition of corny has changed, but I want to dive into like what could possibly make a rap song corny. I think initially and first and foremost, what makes a rap song corny definitely depends on your age. In high school, some of the stuff I listened to, Soulja Boy, at that era was like the dance song era, Lean With It, Rock With It, Shake That Laffy Taffy, like all those songs were during my high school era. And so at that time, that's what was being fed on the radio, and that's what everybody was wanting to hear. And so for people that were my age at the time, it was not corny, it was cool. But I'm sure to people in their 30s and 40s, that was mad corny. Like people were like, why are you making songs like this? And then as I got out my 20s, my definition of what made a corny song had changed, and it was, that was the beginning of like Drake coming out and singing a lot instead of rapping. And I was like, what is this sing? Like, why are we singing on rap songs? And then, the more you get exposed to that, and then the more you start to write as an artist, the definition continues to change. And it's like, I guess it's a personal definition of what corny is, but I guess we could dive into some of the possible reasons why people could conceive a song or an artist as corny. So I think the first reason that I hear a lot, and there's two sides of this. You have I think it's a battle of the club mainstream mumble. You can group a lot of that together, and the lyrical conscious crowd. They always button heads about what is corny. The mainstream crowd, clubby crowd would concede that what makes a rap song corny is too much lyrical, miracle, spherical emphasis. Like I see a lot of people that think Eminem's corny, or Logic's corny, or J. Cole's corny, or Kendrick's corny, or Jordan Lucas is corny. Those type of artists that put an emphasis on the lyrics, that make songs where it's like technically there's no topic, it's braggadocious and showing off the ability to your wordplay and rhyme schemes. And so that there's one crowd that thinks that's corny. There's another crowd, the lyrical crowd, thinks that this crowd is corny because they make songs that are always about the same shit, like women, drugs, violence, getting fucked up. And do it in a way that's like really dumbed down lyrically. So these two sides butting heads gives you two definitions of corny. Then you have, I would say, now those two sides, and then in the middle, like I said, you got like the Drakes and the the artists like that who are becoming less into the rapping element either way and just kind of fit in to the singing category. I think another thing that could lead someone to think that a song is corny is the production itself. For instance, the example I gave of Soulja Boy and that era in the early 2000s, that was, from 2003 to 2008, where all the songs were like, sound like the beats were made on a home, like someone was just tapping the piano and adding some 808s. That could be considered corny. It's almost like video game beats, I guess is what I would call them, like video game beats. Someone might say like the production's not serious, so that makes the artist corny and the song corny. Another like little niche crowd could think a song is too punchline heavy. Like I've heard people, and I would never say this because he's a great, but I could see like in doses why people would think Lil Wayne was corny, because he's trying to play both. I think in times he tried to play both sides of the mainstream and the lyrical, and got caught in the middle of it with the punchlines, and was like, there's a few years where it was like almost forced. The punchlines were forced. So I could see why artists who are so heavy on the punchlines could be deemed as corny. But then again, I think it's just more personal preference, as is it's subjective, as is a lot of things in hip hop. There's no one thing that makes an artist corny, and if you don't do that, you're not corny. Like, you're always going to be corny to somebody. You're never going to be 100% like accepted by everyone, and that's just what the world of hip hop, like people say Logic's corny because he makes positive music, and the way that he makes it comes across in a way that's could be sometimes forced or like overkill. But regardless, all these people that people are calling corny have made it and are successful and have found their niche and their groove. And so I think, my advice would be, if you're making music that you aren't sure if people are going to perceive it as corny, as long as it's true to you, that's going to outshine what anyone has to say about you or how they portray you. If you believe in you and you are 100% authentically you, you're going to be corny to somebody. I know that my music personally could be corny to some people on both sides, but it's authentically me. And when you do that, you're going to connect with who you're meant to connect with. So artists, don't worry. You're going to be corny. It's okay. It is okay. So just keep making music and be authentically you, and you're going to go further that way. So again, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of The Craft. I hope that this gives some clarity on why and what could make music corny and why it does and doesn't matter. I'm O.D.D.I.T.Y. If you haven't, please hit subscribe, like. It goes a long way. Share, leave a comment. I want to interact with you guys, so leave a comment. I will reply. You can give me your advice. We don't have to agree. You might not agree. That's fine. This is just for hip hop discourse. So thank you guys, and I'll see you for another episode.